Welcome back to the PWA here on Rogers TV. And Brandon, we got ourselves one of our bigger matches of the evening. It's our co-main event to come right after the intermission here. It's the ECCW champion, Eddie Osbourne, taking on the walking weapon, Josh Alexander, for this ECCW championship.
This is going to be one heck of a match. I think it's going to be, again, more of a fight than a match. Both competitors are so talented. Both competitors have been around for so long.
Well, Eddie Osbourne, obviously a mainstay out on the west coast of Canada, the BC area. That's where he won this ECCW championship, and he's been a name we've seen here on the PWA and Rogers quite a bit. He's got himself, as you said, Brandon, a lot of veteran experience, but his opponent, whose music has just been hit, you want to talk about experience. Josh Alexander, known as the walking weapon. This is a guy that's done it all across Ontario, the United States, and all across the world, practically. And he's looking to get some championship gold. I mean, Josh Alexander here, Brandon, in the PWA, is a guy that's been taking many names and leaving trails of bodies behind him.
Josh Alexander, he's one of those competitors that you literally lose. You're at a loss of words. He is that talented. He is that good. If you don't believe me, just watch this matchup.
Well, you'll see the talent. You see the fans bowing to the greatness that is the walking weapon, Josh Alexander. And what a story for Josh Alexander, a guy that was really making a name for himself around in the wrestling business. Had to retire for a bit due to a neck injury, but doctors gave him some clearance, and he's just back on that same destruction path that he was about a few years ago.
Luckily, he got misdiagnosed, so that enabled him to return to wrestling, and we are thankful for that.
We absolutely are.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. It is for the ECCW Canadian Championship. Introducing first, the challenger. Weighing in at 226 pounds from Toronto, Ontario, the walking weapon, Josh Alexander. And his opponent, from Campbell River, British Columbia, weighing in at 295 pounds, the ECCW Canadian Champion, Eddie Osbourne.
Crowd not an Eddie Osbourne favorite here.
Well, they're definitely not. Crowd definitely in support of the walking weapon. But Osbourne definitely cannot be taken lightly. He's a man of quite some stature and size, but very agile in his feet. And he's a type of style that Josh Alexander hasn't seen as much. Josh is a suplex machine. He loves to throw his opponents up in the air and rack up their frequent flyer miles. It's very interesting, Brandon, if he can do that here to Eddie Osbourne.
Josh is definitely strong enough.
But can he get his hands on the quick, agile big man from Campbell River, British Columbia? And here we go. Colin elbow tie up. The ECCW Canadian Championship is on the line. Really actually impressed there, Brandon, that Osbourne was able to back up Alexander in the quarter and win that first test of strength battle. That's the one thing, if you've been documenting and following the trails of the walking weapon, Josh Alexander, on social media, 2018's been a year for him where he's been trimming down, cutting down that body fat and gaining a lot of muscle mass. He's dropped about 30 pounds already this year to make himself a much more quicker, leaner type of a wrestler, and it's obviously worked to his success as he's put himself in a championship matchup right now. And nice go behind, headlock, takeover, reverse. Nice job by Alexander. Alexander, for a man of his size and brutality, we can't forget, Brandon, a very solid, technically based wrestler.
He was trained by the great Johnny Devine.
Oh, that's a name that A lot of people that follow wrestling around here in Canada know one of the better names that can help you get started. And the fans getting on Osbourne, call it with the cheeseburger chant, but Eddie definitely not about that. He's about fists and knuckle sandwiches right now. A solid catches catch cam style. Nice reverse from Alexander, but see, I don't know if he is out of the ability to get up Osbourne. Nice trip coming from Osbourne.
Looked like a judo throw almost.
Yeah, definitely something you'd see from a judoka. But I mean, that's something in the arsenal. When you look at an Eddie Osbourne, you don't think he's got that ability, but he can throw a lot of wrinkles into Alexander's game plan with the ability to escape and put on moves like that judo type throw.
A lot of things that shock Eddie Osbourne with a lot of opponents is actually his quickness.
Yeah, he's very quick, agile. And I don't think he wants to get into this game, though, with Josh, a chop fest.
You definitely do not want to get in a striking match with Josh Alexander.
Well, Josh Alexander absolutely unloads right into Eddie Osbourne, and Osbourne gives him one back. Woo! Oh my goodness.
Do you hear the sound of that thud?
You can hear that one all the way out in Galt. And I think as Eddie Osbourne had enough of that, put a headlock on Alexander, and what a knife edge! That one slowed down Osbourne.
It seems it doesn't have that much of an effect on him, though.
Osbourne, he's a tough man in his own right. But maybe you don't want to egg on the walking weapon to throw that strong style type offense with these nasty uppercuts and forearm shots. And a big shot right to the top of the back on Osbourne, trying to set him up. Can he get him for the suplex?
Might be too early in the match. Eddie Osbourne may not be worn down yet.
Oh, he got him up, but Osbourne kept his balance. Does it again. And up, no! Good job by Osbourne to keep the feet planted, now up high. Look at that strength from Alexander!
What impact!
Unbelievable. And a count of about one there, but what power from Josh Alexander. Eddie Osbourne in the area of around 330, 340 pounds. And he was able to pick him up. Took him a while to get there, but once he was able to get the leg strength under him, he got Osbourne up.
You gotta wonder how much that actually took out of Josh.
Yeah, you saw him kind of grimace with the strength and all the back muscles helping lift him, and the leg muscles as well. But we'll see what Osbourne can do to come back. Wynn's got to take it out, and what a shot right to the face, and Osbourne through the ropes. Trying to get his composure, and a big cross body, and right in your lap in the front row goes the ECCW Canadian champion Eddie Osbourne.
Face first in the front row.
Oh, when you come to a PWA event here at the Red Chevron, you can expect that. My goodness. Not afraid to use his body as a weapon as well, is the walking weapon. I guess that's why you call him the walking weapon. Any form of offense he can do, he can pick you up, throw you around, or he can just put his own body at risk.
Or just beat you down.
Yeah, that's one of his favorite ways too, but a cover, and I got the shoulder up. Did Eddie Osbourne. And that'll definitely take a lot out of it. Now, Josh doing the classic Garvin stomp.
I love this move. It's one of my favorites.
All the way now right on the hand. And we'll come around.
It's just so vicious.
And when Ronnie Garvin used to do it, it definitely wasn't, oh my goodness, it wasn't a ferocity, but look at that! Absolutely bending the arm back, and that could have just dislocated or broken Eddie Osbourne's elbow.
Or could have torn the tricep.
Whatever, anything damaged, nonetheless, that's going to be a big factor to look out for, and that's something Josh does so well. He picks a body part, isolates it, and makes your night miserable where you have to go without one appendage. Osbourne tries to muscle Alexander back into the corner. Comes in with a, try to get ahead of steam, but Alexander got the feet up. And oh, countered! Did Eddie Osbourne with the sit-out powerbomb.
Looked like Josh hit the back of his head pretty hard on the canvas.
Definitely may have almost knocked himself out, and that's something you got to keep aware of with a guy with Alexander's history of head and neck injuries. And that's where Osbourne now will look to capitalize in this match and wear down the big, tall walking weapon. Just hooker by crook. Somehow Eddie Osbourne's going to find a way to make a counter, and that set-up powerbomb has changed the pendulum in this matchup.
Let's go back to what we said earlier, how agile Eddie Osbourne really is.
Just absolutely planted Alexander on his head. But Alexander trying to make a comeback right now with some shots. Vicious forearm that landed. That'll give you a wake-up call in the morning.
You know Josh is hurt, and he definitely isn't going to go down without a fight.
He definitely isn't, and there's a thunderous forearm. And pick up Eddie Osbourne. Oh! What a suplex from Eddie Osbourne. And a back senton right across Josh Alexander's back.
Where he was hurting after he tried to lift Eddie Osbourne for a couple suplexes earlier.
That move got a solid 2 count. Surprised we didn't get about a 2 3/4 there, as that senton right across Alexander's back just drove all the air out of Josh's body. Imagine, Brandon, not fun to be on the receiving end of that.
No, it is not.
Especially across the back. You can't see it coming. You're not expecting it.
You can't brace for it. You can't prepare for it.
And going right to work on the back here and trying to soften up the walking weapon, but you got to be careful. You can't give Josh Alexander an any inch. He'll take it. And does the old Jersey. It's like action that we see at the Sleeman Center here in Guelph with the Storm. Nice power slam from Osbourne. And got another 2 count. And there it goes back once again, Brandon. The agility and that quick movements for Eddie Osbourne. Just how tough is it to be in the ring with someone of Eddie Osbourne's size, but one that moves that's about 145 pounds?
It really throws you off because, like you said, you think he's a big guy, you think he's going to move a lot slower than he does, and then he comes at you like a freight train. It's pretty intimidating.
It definitely is, but if anyone here in PWA is going to be up to the task, it's Josh Alexander with his Canadian strong style, but the ECCW champion definitely not willing to bow down to the resume that Alexander had, that many opponents may have. He's just continuing to open up here and continue to unleash punishment.
Well, if you're going to talk about resumes, Eddie Osbourne's resume is not too shabby either.
No, he's been in this game for a long time. He's left a lot of bodies laying in his own right. And he's inflicted many, many, many men having trips to the hospital. And the thing about that, Brandon, too, he loves doing that.
Oh, it definitely makes him feel good inside, I'll tell you that.
Every time he can send a man out on a stretcher, he's like a kid at Christmas. But Alexander trying to force his way back into this one. Get some forearm shots. That Canadian strong style.
And I'm not sure if I'm Eddie Osbourne, but I want to go toe-to-toe striking with Josh Alexander.
No, as Osbourne delivered a headbutt, but quickly got a receipt of a boot right to the face. And we're back to Chop City, my goodness.
Let's hear those thuds.
Josh.
His chest is going to be bruised tomorrow. It's probably going to be purple tomorrow.
Josh Alexander, when he hits you with a knife-edge chop, it's like Giancarlo Stanton hitting a baseball. The sound that comes off the bat. How about that sound with that big right hand from Osbourne? These guys just kind of... Osbourne with the avalanche in the corner. Once again, driving the air out of the body of Josh Alexander. And Alexander, he's been on the onslaught of this for about the last 5-6 minutes or so. Gets the able to kick out.
He wasted way too much time before going to the pin there.
And just the authority on those kickouts, Brandon. Josh Alexander still has a lot left in the tank.
Josh Alexander is probably one of the most fit cardiovascular athletes I have ever met.
He's gonna definitely have to go deep in the tank on that reserve of the cardio and the physicality if he wants to come away here with the ECCW Canadian Championship. And look at these shots. Shot from Osbourne. Back to that striking match. Both men can really lay him in. Forearm from Alexander, another forearm, another one. Make it a fourth.
Again, you got to question Eddie Osbourne's strategy here, trying to go strike for strike with Josh.
And absolutely nearly knocks Osbourne out of the ring, does Alexander. I think those striking shots that Osbourne had woke Alexander up. That's something you definitely don't want to do. Wake up a sleeping giant and counter. Osbourne sent off the ropes and a big back elbow. Can't get the big man off his feet and comes in. Oh my goodness. Good job though by Alexander to counter that the counter to the counter and stay on his feet, keep the action going on. There's a drop kick, knocking down Osbourne finally.
I'm surprised Josh isn't going for a pin here.
He's trying to get the crowd into it, go down into his reserve tank. Smacking the mat to wake up this crowd here at the Red Chevron Club in Guelph.
But screw the crowd, they're not going to help you win the match. You're only going to win it by pinfall or submission.
Oh, that crowd though, they can motivate you, they can get you to do things that you didn't think your body had the ability of doing, and picked up. Tried to go with the side slam, but Alexander rolls through. Picked up, and look at that power fiddly roll. That could be it. 1, 2, and
oh, just barely kicks out. Eddie Osbourne at 2 3/4.
How did Osbourne get the shoulder up on that Finley roll?
Had to be just on instincts alone.
Just on instincts, exactly. That's his veteran prowess in that squared circle. But nonetheless, Alexander once again showed off his power and as well included some agility. He was able to roll a big man like Osbourne like that. Gotta capitalize though, does Josh. I think he's giving Eddie a little bit too much time, don't you think, Brandon?
I would say that, but it's Josh Alexander. He knows what he's doing. He is such a technician in the ring.
Alexander was a little upset with official Joey Valeri, thinking that should have been a 3, but he's got to go right back to work, and he tries to do that with the double underhooking of the arms, but Osbourne powers his way out of it. Scoop up on the shoulders, fireman carry position. That's countered. Back elbow, back elbow. Still can't break the waist lock that Alexander has. Now does. Roaring elbow. No! And a Uranagi. 1, 2, and no! Another crazy near fall in this matchup, Brandon.
Again, we talk about Eddie Osbourne kicking out on instance. That was Josh Alexander right there.
That was Eddie Osbourne as well, knowing the playbook of Josh Alexander, that he loves that roaring forearm, something that you'd seen out of All Japan in the 90s, countered it, able to hit that big Uranagi. I mean, you can't become a champion without that, knowing what an opponent's gonna do just before he does it. And now, Osbourne trying to put away the walking weapon right now. I think he signaled this may be it. Shoulder up, but Alexander fights out. Alexander, once again, the waist lock, trying to get him for a German suplex, but Osbourne powers his way out yet again. And that's, I think, got to throw off Josh a bit with a back elbow, but he can't. Suplex and, oh, this time Osbourne caught Death Valley driver. This has to be it. 1, 2, no! How do you keep going in a match like this, Brandon?
I'm amazed for words here. I think if Eddie could get his full body weight over the torso of Josh, he may have had this.
He absolutely may have.
I'm starting to wonder if either man could put one or the other away here.
They've hit each other with big shots, moves that would normally put the average opponent away. But these are not average opponents. Eddie Osbourne in the walking weapon, Josh Alexander. These are monsters among men. And shouting towards the crowd, but Osbourne can't worry about that. He's got Josh Alexander on the ropes and now on top of the ropes. Forearm shot. Trying to go high risk. Now, here goes Osbourne. He's got...
What's he thinking here?
He's got, I don't know what he's thinking. He's got Alexander in a precarious position. Is he going for top rope Death Valley driver?
That looks like it. He hits it, this is over.
No, Alexander counters, able to escape. Grabs the foot, and a big forearm shot. That's definitely gonna daze the big man from BC.
Even Josh felt that one.
I think people in the third row felt that one. Now Alexander trying to go up high, go to the top floor, potentially trying to put away Eddie Osbourne for this ECCW championship. Oh my, is he gonna superplex?
Can the ring hold these guys if they come to the canvas?
I don't know, we'll find out!
Oh my God!
Unbelievable, a superplex off the top rope, the ring, and these combatants are worse for wear.
I think we need someone to check the ring. The ring might be broken here.
Oh, ring definitely felt that one. And so did Eddie Osbourne's back.
Look at the replay here on this superplex.
Unbelievable action, and somehow, some way, Osbourne able to kick out. Osbourne just keeps on surviving these big, punishing blows from Josh Alexander. What's it gonna take to put someone away, Brandon?
I have no idea with these two competitors. I mean, they literally could fight forever.
At this rate, it appears to be that.
But I think the crowd would definitely be okay if they did fight forever.
I think they would, and that's exactly what's gonna happen. The fight element that you talked about is come to fruition right now with these trading of forearm shots and a big right hand from Alexander. Another clubbing blow to the back. Once again, both these men definitely softened up.
Oh, what a chop!
My goodness, I felt that one. Alexander off the rope, and oh! Ran into a brick wall known as Eddie Osbourne. Can't get the boot. Big shot. And running forearm shot. Set it in the corner. Oh, and ran into a big foot, did Alexander, from Eddie Osbourne. My goodness. What action. Tried to go for the short arm clothesline, spinning around, roaring forearm. Scoop. Oh my goodness. He caught Alexander up and put him in a press cutter. Oh, and Josh kicks out. Josh Alexander somehow, once again, got this shoulder up. We talked about this. Let's take a look at this on the replay. Alexander thought he had Osbourne set up, and then look at this press right over around into a cutter. Unbelievable maneuver by Osbourne, and thought he had Alexander, but Alexander...
We all thought he had Josh Alexander with that.
Will not go down without a fight. Both men, there's a chop, but I don't think Osbourne had much on it. But it did bring Alexander down to his knees.
Was effective, that's all that matters.
And another splash in the corner. And Alexander now has to back himself off into another corner, trying to get himself together. How much can he take in this? And a third splash, make that the hat trick for Eddie Osbourne. Trying to make this one 4. Alexander bringing himself up slowly, and there it is. But this one, all the wrath, and an exploder suplex from Alexander. Ducks the clothesline, Josh Alexander, German toss! German exploding suplex. My goodness, he finally was able to execute that, Brandon.
I have no idea where he got the strength or energy to do that.
No idea where he was able to get. All match he's been looking for that overhead German suplex. Finally gets it here in the later stages. What can he do to capitalize off that one against a man that's been through many wars out on the West Coast and here in the PWA? What is he doing? He's got him on the rack. On the rack, can he hit him with a rack bomb? He can! Rack bomb! Josh Alexander! 1, 2, no!
Eddie kicks out!
How did Eddie Osbourne kick out of a move that's put away many men throughout the Ontario independent scene?
This crowd is shocked that Eddie was able to kick out at 2.
Let's take a look at that. First of all, the strength by Alexander to get Osbourne up for this, and then just whips Osbourne around for the rack bomb. We all thought it was over. Everyone in the red chevron was ready to celebrate with champagne and some Molson Canadians, but no, Osbourne, he now shows the wherewithal of a champion and the ability to fight through. My goodness, Brandon, what a match.
When you're champion, you'll do anything to keep your title. And it was just basic instincts for Eddie Osbourne to kick out of that.
Alexander trying to put the finishing touches here on Osbourne. Scoop, can he?
Is he looking for the tombstone here?
Oh, it's just too much to get up for Eddie Osbourne. I don't know if he can. Now they're in the ropes. That really worked out for Eddie Osbourne. Great job by him to use the ring to his advantage to get his feet caught up in the ropes. Tries the gut, and oh, what a kick right to the face to stun Eddie Osbourne. Now he's got him in a real precarious position. Roaring forearm shot. Now he's got Osbourne draped, brings him on in. Oh, that's countered. Roll through with a jackknife. 1, 2, 3. Oh,
Eddie got him!
Eddie Osbourne countered what looked like a precarious position, put his veteran presence through, and Eddie Osbourne is still the ECCW Canadian champion.
This crowd, along with me, we are in shock. But what a matchup.
Unbelievable match. Both men hit each other with everything they had, and when it came down to it, the crafty veteran from BC countered with a good old-fashioned wrestling move, a jackknife cover, and just look at the disdain on Alexander's side. He thought he had Eddie Osbourne right where he wanted him, and Osbourne at the last second.
Josh knows he let the title slip through his fingers tonight.
Exactly, Brandon. Alexander had the championship literally almost around his waist, and now has to think and get the appreciation from the fans, but that's not a championship. That's not what he wanted.
Well, that's a championship event, champion's advantage. You have to be pinned.
Absolutely.
You have to be beat, or the challenger, you know, you always feel you have to do a little bit more because you know pressure's on you to beat the champion. The champion doesn't have to be beat.
And Alexander was trying to say that was a 2 count, but unfortunately, the crafty veteran from Campbell River, British Columbia,